Good evening and Assalamu alaikum and welcome to my channel Centuries Untold. My name is Wahid Qurashi. Viewers, I apologize for a delay in my this new video. It's been almost a month since I have recorded my last video, and the reason was I was on travel. So inshallah, moving forward, you will start seeing my regular videos on a regular basis. Okay. So today's video is a special video, viewers. It is a topic that I decided to talk about. It is an important topic. It's relevant to Pakistan in the current environment and situation-wise. The topic is what is going on with Afghanistan. Okay, the recent development that Pakistan-Afghanistan has in the last few weeks, and how the situation is turning, and what led to this situation like this, what happened. Okay, so I'm going to discuss that. I'm going to say a few things. Viewers, the question is, again, what happened, what led to this situation? Okay, what really triggered, excuse me, what really triggered Pakistan to conduct a thoroughly successful airstrikes inside Afghanistan the first time? What happened? Second question is, what to do with Afghanistan? Okay, what options Pakistan has really to eliminate this constant headache, this constant problem on our western border. So I'm going to talk about those two things. Okay, first, what led to this thing? Because as you know that Afghanistan, historically speaking, traditionally speaking, has always kind of opposed Pakistan for a variety of reasons. Ever since Taliban, the current regime in Afghanistan, ever since the Taliban took over back in 90s and just last 3-4 years ago, there was a hope that, and it was a common perception that Talibans are normally pro-Pakistan, pro-Islamabad, right? And Pakistan would have a secure, stable western border. But as time passed, it turns out not to be the case. But the question again is why? And the answer actually is very simple. Okay, I will try to explain that in the next few minutes. As we all know, Taliban follow a very rigid, very ultra-orthodox ideology. Okay? In their own country, the way they are running the government over there, if there's any government over there, if they are running any government, you can see it is a very, very ancient, very ultra-orthodox, very kind of rigid system that they are trying to place into that society. Okay. A main examples is they have not allowed girls to go to school. All girls' schools are closed. Men have to have a beard. Okay, and so much so and so. But that's not Pakistan's headache. Okay, they can do whatever they want to do inside their country. That's fine. But the problem starts. The problem started when there are designated terrorist groups that have crossed into Afghanistan and took a shelter over there. Right? And from there, they cross border back to Pakistan and do all kind of terrorism, into their cities, civilians, military personnel, so and so and so. But the question is, why Taliban basically supports these groups. Why? Because, viewers, this is their lifeline. This is how they feed into that, meaning Taliban. This is their ideology. That's how they survive, to support those groups and send them back to Pakistan. Okay? In fact, most Afghani people that I have met outside Afghanistan, of course, do not support Taliban. They consider them like, unwanted group of people who took over control of Kabul, Afghanistan. Okay? They look for a modern, reasonable system of government in Afghanistan, not these rigid mullahs who just don't know what to do when they took the power, and they're still operating as a militia. Okay? Because those terrorist groups that mean harm to Pakistan, they took shelter inside Afghanistan, and Taliban supports them because that's how they survive, mean Taliban, right? So because that's how they survive. And they think by using those groups against Pakistan, they have some kind of leverage, and they can blackmail Islamabad, a Pakistani public. Okay? So that's how, and on the top of that, their ideology is the same. Okay? So they are unwilling, and they don't want to eliminate those groups. And they don't want to kick those people out of their country so that they don't cause any trouble to Pakistan. Okay? So that's one reason. The second reason is what happened in May of 2025 this year to India in the 6 days war with Pakistan, and how India suffered a humiliated defeat at the hands of Pakistan, a clear defeat. Okay, I want to clear that on this point. The war that took place, the 6 days war that took place in May 2025, there was one winner, there was one loser. The winner was Pakistan, and the loser was India. And it's not just Pakistan is saying. All the evidence that Pakistan has produced and presented to the world, and the rest of the world know about it. You can mask it, you can propaganda it, oh, nothing happened, but the world knows what happened to India. Right? They got a very, 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 very bloody nose from Pakistan. So they decided to go to Afghanistan and use those Talibans, offer them money so they can operate from there. Do you think that Pakistan government and the people of Pakistan don't know this? They know very well that it is India who's behind Taliban and giving them shelter. I mean, not just shelter, giving them money and plan and logistics to launch activities against Pakistan. Pakistan is aware of it. We know that. Okay? But the unfortunate thing is, in my opinion, is this. Taliban, who in their own mind represent a rigid, a very orthodox picture of Islam, they call themselves Muslims, right? And instead of shaking hands with their Islamic country, Pakistan, they went to a Hindu majority country, India. Not just a Hindu majority country, India, but a country that is run by a fascist government under Modi. A country that is basically severely anti-Islam, anti-Muslims. And look what they're doing over there. So they went over there. That's the sad part. Okay? So because those terrorist organizations who are operating from inside Afghanistan into Pakistan, and then they go back to Afghanistan, Pakistan has, given evidence many, many times and asked Taliban regime over there to stop these people to launch activities against Pakistan and Pakistani people from Afghanistan. But they have not listened to Pakistan. It basically went over deaf ears. And they continued to operate those terrorism from Afghanistan into Pakistan. So Pakistan is a victim. Keep that in mind. Okay? And like I said, unfortunately, Taliban chose a path, not Pakistan, Taliban. And viewers, I want to make it clear. I'm not talking about every single Afghani person. Most of them are not like that. Okay? I'm talking about a particular a regime that operates, behaves, and feed on these extremist ideas, views. Okay? That's Taliban. And their supporters on both sides. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. Okay? But the problem is, it's not that simple, right? Because India is constantly pouring money into Taliban. And Indian media is doing a relentless campaign, a propaganda, a lies campaign, propaganda against Pakistan. So unfortunately, what I have seen, most Afghani people have fallen into that trap, and they think Pakistan is their enemy. They think Pakistan is a bad actor. They think Pakistan, is a troublemaker. Unfortunately, those things are not true. Like I said, most Afghanis have fallen into that trap by Indian propaganda. Okay? And they think India is their friend. If you watch my other video, the one that I have made a few months back, it's called the Durand line, right? Please watch this video. And I have pretty much explained in that video that India is not your friend. Believe me, India is not your friend. Okay? And Pakistan is not your enemy. I mean, the enemy of Afghanistan. Pakistan is not. Please open your eyes into this. Okay? So, all those things led to a situation where about a month, I think little over a month ago, those terrorist organizations, good militias, launched and attacked some military posts and across the border into Pakistan. That resulted in some military forces casualties and some civilian casualties. I think that was what you call it, the last straw. Okay? And Pakistan after that, I mean, they crossed the red line at that point. So I think at that point, Pakistan government and military decided to take action, basically. So, viewers, again, the first question, what led to this situation? So I just explained to you what has led to this point where Pakistan had no option, no choice, but to go back and take care of those terrorists hiding inside Afghanistan, because Taliban are not willing and don't want to punish them. I don't want to kick them out as Pakistan has requested. So somebody has to do this job. And Pakistan is doing that job. Okay? So, again, two things. One, Taliban feeds on those terrorist groups, those terrorist organizations. That's their ideology. They're still living in that militia mindset, guerrilla warfare mindset. Even though they have the government now, instead of focusing on improving the lives of their people, they're still engaged in that militia warfare. And they're supporting those non-terrorist groups to go back to Pakistan and, do what you want to do. and then come back, we will protect you. But guess what? This time, the game is over for them. Okay? Pakistan means business this time. Okay? And secondly, India, ever notorious, the sponsor of terrorism, a full of lies, a fascist country, has jumped, took the opportunity, grabbed the opportunity, and start pouring money into Taliban's. Okay, here's the money, take the money, and go and do what those activities inside Pakistan. We are with you. But I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell also this. India, after they suffered really a humiliated defeat, a military defeat at the hands of Pakistan in May for that 6 days war. Okay? They can deny it. They can still do the propaganda. But Pakistan knows, the Pakistani people know, the whole world know what Pakistan did to India. I am hoping that India has learned its lesson and they will not venture again in Pakistan. If they do, and they will see this time a result far more severe for them. So they took a coward way of going to Afghanistan and tried to destabilize Pakistan western border. It's not going to work. It will not happen. So that's for India. Okay. So that things is leading to this situation. Now, what Pakistan's response has been so far? Viewers, I can tell you this. There was one issue that I have seen the whole country of Pakistan, the people of Pakistan united on one issue. There's no second opinion on that issue. And that issue is the issue of Kashmir, right? Every single Pakistani believe on the Kashmir cause, right? There's no second opinion. Maybe less than 1.1% people maybe think differently, but 99.9% people, Pakistani people, are on the same page on Kashmir issue, right? So this is the second issue, this Afghani issue, where they are supporting those terrorist groups, and also the Pakistan has hosted millions of Afghanis during Soviet occupation last 50 years into their soil. They gave them shelter, they gave them food. Their second generation is born in Pakistan, raised in Pakistan, but they still hate Pakistan. Okay, so on this issue, I have seen 99.9% Pakistani public is on the same page. This is the second issue that I have seen. That they are sad, they are disappointed, they are angry, they are mad, and they are frustrated that Pakistan has hosted these millions of Afghani people in their soil, in their country, for so many years, for 50 years almost. Their second, third generation has born and raised in Pakistan, but they still say, we don't like Pakistan. They are still hesitant to say Pakistan Zindabad, long live Pakistan. They don't say that, even if you ask them, living inside Pakistan for generations. So that made pretty much every Pakistani frustrated, angry, mad, and disappointed and sad at the same time. They say these are Muslim Afghani brothers, that we have treated them kindly, not just the public but the government also, and that's what they're doing. Is that what they are giving us? So they are very sad about this thing. Trust me on this thing, and they are united on this front. I will tell you this. Okay. Instead of thankful, they have become a thankless. Okay. So what is the result now? Okay, let's talk about result. Okay, so result is this. This time, Pakistani government, military, and the public, all three, are on the same page. What they want is that, okay, we are done hosting these millions of Afghani people in our soil. They need to go back. Okay? If they are not sincere with Pakistan, if they cannot say Pakistan Zindabad, if they still hate Pakistan and love India, then either you go to India or you go back to your own country. Choice is very simple, right? Most countries will do that. So Pakistan has decided to ask those Afghanis who are living in Pakistan for 50 years, it's time to go back. And that's what they're doing right now. They're putting them in buses, whatever means, and sending them back home. And the public is supporting that. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing is, because Taliban has refused to stop those terrorists operating from inside Afghanistan, Pakistan has taken the matter into its own hand. So they have started to do what we call a surgical airstrikes inside Kabul, Kandahar, a lot of those places where those terrorists are hiding, and successfully basically destroyed a lot of their camps. And they have showed evidence to Taliban. Look, that's what they're doing. And therefore, even Pakistan's upper hand on this thing. Pakistan agreed on the request of its friends, let's talk. Let's have some kind of peace talks. But the peace talks did not work. And I suspected from the beginning it would not work. Why? Because Taliban, feeds on those terrorist groups. If they stop them, it's their own death. Excuse me. I mean, they are saying verbally, oh, we will stop them, we will ask them not to do this. But Pakistan's request and demand is very clear. Put this in writing. Put this whole thing, agreement, in writing. The question is, if you agree that we will stop them, if you agree verbally, why you cannot put this in writing? Ladies and gentlemen, the answer is very simple. Because their intentions are not good. They don't mean to stop them. That's why they don't want to put in writing. Otherwise, if I am sincere in what I'm saying, I have no issue put this in writing and sign it, right? But they're not signing, they're not putting in a written agreement. And that's Pakistan's demand. Now, I think the peace talks have failed, and I suspected that they would have failed. So Pakistan is going to continue. What they need to do is to, eliminate those groups inside Afghanistan. Okay, and I don't think Taliban has means to stop that. Okay, what they're going to do? How they're going to stop Pakistan, right? That's the question. They cannot face Pakistani military, Air Force, or whatever, right? So they're going to suffer. Taliban are going to suffer, and with them, as the public will suffer too. Okay? So my message to Afghani people in general is this. Again, Pakistan is not your enemy. And India is not your friend. They are using you people to fight its war against Pakistan. That is their real agenda. Okay? They are using you. So open your eyes. Otherwise, Pakistan is not going to stop this time. I think their passion is over. They don't more. Pakistani public, government and military. They ran out of the passion. They don't have any more sabr because their people are dying by these terrorists. So they have to eliminate them. So that's one thing. Now the second part of my discussion. What to do with this situation? What to do with Afghanistan? What we do? What should Pakistan do? Right? In the long term. Short term, yes, they will continue hitting them inside Afghanistan, military strikes, right? But what's the long term solution? Viewers, in my opinion, there are only two viable solutions for this problem. That Pakistan eventually that will lead Pakistan eventually into that. One, if Taliban continue to do this and don't basically come to their senses, I think the time will come when Pakistani government Pakistan military and public will basically start, what you call it, a regime change in Kabul, eliminate Taliban altogether, their government, and bring somebody who are more, reasonable. Like I said, Taliban do not represent the whole of Afghanistan. There are other groups, other entities, who also have the same claim to govern Afghanistan. Taliban does not represent the whole group. Okay, so and the time may come to that point for Pakistan to say, okay, well, we cannot work with this Taliban. They're too rigid. They don't understand. They don't understand the international relations, right? And it's time to change that regime. That probably will come eventually, I think. Because, okay? And until that happens, I believe Pakistan is going to continue with airstrikes, with other military attacks inside Afghanistan. And Taliban have no means to stop that. I mean, they have no match for Pakistani military might. Okay? But they don't do nothing. Second, long-term solution. A time may come, sooner than later, I think, where Pakistan would eventually have no choice again but to create a buffer zone inside Afghanistan, like in the map behind me. Okay? Go inside Afghanistan, create maybe 100, 200 miles, a buffer between the actual international border and Afghanistan. So you have buffer. And Pakistan control that buffer inside Afghanistan. 100 miles or 200 miles across the border. So that those terrorist groups would not even have an opportunity, a chance to get even inside Pakistan. They will be stopped at that buffer zone. Okay? That's what's the third thing? Like in the map in the back, Pakistan also a time may come where Pakistan government or military or public would not have no choice but to take control of the Wakhan corridor. Okay, that small strip on the top in the north, go back there, to take control of that strip, to safeguard Pakistan's northern border, to safeguard Pakistan's security and trade with Central Asia. I think those two activities will come into play eventually, very soon. Buffer zone and take control of the Wakhan corridor. I think that's because my viewers, like I said, Pakistan has asked Taliban and before them multiple times, even during the Hamid Karzai and all those people, Ghani time, to stop those people. But they have not paid attention. Pakistan has gone to its friends in other Muslim countries, United Nations, all those places, to tell these people to come to their senses. But they're not. And at this point, Pakistan has actually run out of patience. Not just Pakistan, the public as well. So you may have seen the pictures where all those Afghan refugees are going back home. And public supports that. Like I said in the beginning, they're sad, they're angry, they're frustrated. Because instead of getting thank you from those Afghanis, Afghanistan, right? They have become totally thankless and they have become a tool in the hands of Indians, those bloody Indians, right? What they call, right? In the hands of that fascist regime in India. Right? We took care of them in May. The fascist government of India. And if they try to do another venture, they will see the response from Pakistan again, maybe double this time. So Pakistan does not want a war, okay? But it does not want to show a weakness as well as the major military power in the region. Okay, it does not want to show the weakness. Because if it does show that, its citizens are going to die with those terrorist activities. I just heard today there was a bomb blast in Islamabad by, see, so that kind of thing. So that in order to stop that, Pakistan may need to go inside and establish that buffer zones. Unfortunately, Afghanistan has not learned its lesson. The people, a lot of people, okay, they have not moved forward with the time. At this, I'm going to close my video with this one, what do you call it, one share from Allama Iqbal, which he wrote about over 100 years ago, 1920, I think, and in which he addressed Afghani people over 100 years ago. I think I'm going to quote that in Urdu. अपनी खुदी पहचान, अपनी खुदी पहचान, ओ गाफिल अफगान. And then Iqbal says, रूमी बदले, शामी बदले, बदला हिंदुस्तान. अपनी खुदी पहचान, ओ गाफिल अफगान. Okay? He said a lot in that share. So, pay attention to the world around you and don't become just a tool. And I'm also going to close my video with this. Pakistan is not your enemy, and India is not your friend. Okay? But if Afghanistan does continue on this path, the options for Pakistan are very, very clear. Right? Thank you very much for watching my video. Good night, and Pakistan Zindabad.